We're serious. We're getting real data here, but we're also having fun.
I mean, we allow genes on Fridays. Like,
absolutely.
We understand, like, we had a global pandemic, and, like, that was really villainous. So, like, you know, you can work from home. Like, we don't need to be like, I don't need to micromanage you. As long as you're getting your villainy done and, you know, you meet your meetings and reviews, like, we are going to be fine. In the beginning, there was nothing. Emptiness, uncertainty, listlessness. Then, the Creator made man. With strength, certainty, and the power to bend the natural world around him. A God-given right culminating in this moment. Hello and welcome to The Answer's a Lemon. We got a podcast name now. We've decided on a podcast name that we all like and doesn't suck and everything's groovy.
It's real, it's true, it's forever, we're committed.
Yeah, at least until we change it again. But for now, The Answer's a Lemon.
The Answer's a Lemon for the time being.
As always, I am with your God of Odd, Dr. Connor Fitz.
Yes. So happy to be here. So ready to spread that doctorate all over this podcast. Really get the esteem that we were looking for, that doctorate boost.
The first and last time I will be doing this in a genuine fashion, but I thought it would be nice to kind of record it for the like posterity annals of syndicated media history. Just, you know, just do a nice little thing for you because just breaking down the curtain. Fuck you, you deserve it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It'll make for a great ringtone. Every time, that'll be good for texts. Every time I get a notification from you, Dr. Connor Fitz.
There you go. And as always, I'm your host, Evan. Thanks for listening to episode 5. Why the fuck are you still here? Can't thank you enough. Yeah, I feel like we had a lot to talk about, and then we did so much workshopping before this that my brain's shut off, and I'm just ready to just kind of like sleep.
Yeah, it's so good. I know that we're never going to wind up getting artificial and overly practiced because we forget everything in between takes. In between podcasts, we'd start again at ground zero.
Pretty much. I mean, also like peek behind the curtain, Mike, because I know you're listening, Mike. Hey, Mike. How's it going,
hey, Mike? Mike, hey.
It's been like a month since we recorded, and I guess we'll talk about that in our most important first question. But yeah, it's been tough. Like if we're keeping up this track record, we're boned. Like, well, there's no way that this is ever catching on by humans who aren't, you know, our 6 friends? Do we have 6 friends? Are we up to 6 friends?
I think 6 friends feels right. Any more than that, and I think that we're going to have to start culling them. You know, just taking one out at a time.
Just like get the bachelor roses out and just it's like, here you go. Oh, I'm sorry, you don't got great. A rose.
That's much better. I was thinking I would just wildly offend people like I've been craving to do for so long.
Okay, I mean, your presence is offensive enough, so like I don't know what else you could do.
I know. Imagine how high I've got to crank it to get rid of our 7th friend.
Oh Christ! Well, let's both not be very good at small talk. Hey, did you know this podcast is an excuse for me and Connor to hang out, and then guise it in the idea that we can make small talk fun? Yeah,
here we are making it fun. It's fun already. Can't you tell?
Yeah. Icebreakers don't need to be shitty. You don't need to ask about the weather. You just need to have some really dumb questions. So let's fucking get into it, gang. Most important first question of the day. How you been, bud? It's been a month.
Dude, I'm really good. I'm in a good spot. I am past all of the agita. Is it because what?
Is it because you're in Oregon and a doctor now?
Being a doctor is pretty good so far. Mostly being a doctor is great because it means not being a pre-doctoral student, which is not great. Maybe I'm just feeling civilian life right now. could be that what I'm enjoying truly and really is not having homework for the first time ever.
That's fine. I'm like on a decade of not having homework, so like catch up, buddy.
yeah, you've really settled into the lifestyle. You know, I don't think that you appreciate it properly. I think that you've been taking this no homework stuff for granted. And let me tell you, it kicks ass. It's great.
I mean, I've enjoyed it. Like, I've had no homework, so I've decided to start a podcast with my friend. I need something to do. I'm too bored.
Great. Yeah, let's open you up for more feedback from critical people telling you about your performance. That'll bring you right back to school days.
Great. Thanks, Internet. Let's be very kind. I know you're down to do that. So I do want to ask you, please continue talking, but I also just kind of want to like pat myself on the back for how funny I think I am, because like I want to come up with an idea of like, you did a half marathon of driving across the country. So like how do we, it's like, it's not a full cross country tour. It's a half country tour. Like, how was your travels across half of the United States of America?
Well, I'll tell you, it was very practical this time. It was all very smooth, which is great. But usually I really like stopping places. You know, America has so much cool stuff to it. It's so big. It's basically 50 individual countries that have all been mushed together by the refusal of Abraham Lincoln to allow the South to secede. And that's in our fiber. That's the connective tissue that keeps us together. Whether or not Eastern Oregon wants to secede to Idaho, like there are some echoes. Anyway, I really like stopping.
Being held together beyond your desire and will.
Yeah, well,
being forced to hang out with people you don't like.
Exactly. America is basically one enormous, unpleasant family Thanksgiving.
Okay. So sorry. Please continue.
Which I love experiencing. I wanted to stop. I wanted to eat the mashed potatoes. I wanted to pick the marshmallows off the sweet potatoes. I wanted to grab some of that turkey skin, but I couldn't this time. Had to just keep moving. 2 dogs in the back. No time to enjoy things.
How were the dogs for the trip? Did they cause a lot of trouble? I know when I drove across the country with 2 cats, they were just their existence was like, we need to drive fast so they don't die of heat stroke.
I'll tell you, they are, I don't know about cats. I don't really know how cats cool themselves. I guess they also pant, not as effectively as dogs.
Yeah, it's a little actually concerning when they pant heavily. It's like, hey, that's a little bit too overworked. But it's also very cute, but Salem has asthma, so it is somewhat worrying.
Oh, well, yeah, it was pretty simple. Once the dog started panting, I turned the AC up a little bit more. So it was cool. Rimmer was drugged up, so she wasn't constantly pondering whether it's worth it to break out of the car while we're on the highway.
That was Salem.
Was nice. Oh, there you go. Yep, parallel experiences. But yeah, no, dogs were cool. Aside from them preventing me from stopping at all the cool places.
Okay, cool. Thank you for sharing that. Anything else noteworthy in the last month? I don't know. Holy cow.
I'll tell you, getting me through the very final phases of my doctorate program has been Pikmin 4, which is, let me tell you, a revelation. A true sequel.
Okay, what do you mean by revelation? Like, what has been revealed to you? What new insights about life, the universe, and everything have you learned?
That there is good in the world, that there is deep satisfaction that can be found. Good people are out there trying to make the world a better place, and they did it by making Pikmin 4.
Okay, cool.
Pikmin 2 is my favorite video game of all time.
Yes.
And Pikmin 3 was pretty okay. It was good. Like it was really very good, but it didn't register in the grand scheme of things the way that Pikmin 2 did for me.
Pikmin 4
is right up there. There wasn't as much. The thing that was great about Pikmin 2 was that you just kept peeling back layers and finding more and more game in new ways after you had felt like you had already finished up, without it feeling like, well, just do it all over again, except it'll be harder this time.
Right.
Like the way that some games will have the replayability.
Yeah.
So Pikmin 3 just didn't have as much stuff. The new Pikmin that they introduced were all right. Flying Pikmin were great. I love my fairy Pikmin. Rock Pikmin didn't really feel like they were making a big difference in the game.
Right.
But we've got 2 new modes in Pikmin 4. There's nighttime adventures, and there are Dandori battles.
I don't know what either of those mean, so please enlighten me. Are we becoming a video game podcast?
We might, well, you know,
We talk about video games a lot. We're kind of big fucking nerds. That's why we need help talking to humans.
Unfortunately, Evan, we're just video game people, and we have a podcast, and we can't keep those 2 things separate.
Oh, no.
But classically, the pressure in every day's expedition for Pikmin was that at the end of the day, if you would need to have all of your Pikmin gathered up because you were jetting off the face of the planet because things got really serious at night. Everybody dies.
All the ghoulies come out?
All the ghoulies come out. They're hyper aggressive. Like, that's the point where you got a GTFO.
Okay.
And if you didn't have your Pikmin with you, if you had left them trying to pick something up or take care of something, and you didn't have them when the clock struck sunset, you had to watch them run to your ship after it had escaped immediately to be devoured by monsters.
Oh my God, that's so dark.
This game is so effective at tugging on your heartstrings.
Oh, geez.
And so that's still true.
Okay.
However, we now have the capability to explore at night.
Yep.
For night expeditions. And it's a very different mode. It wasn't just like, you're just down there and it's dark instead.
Right.
I was opposed to it at first because there had been so much world building built up around how the face of the earth is just impossible to exist on at nighttime.
Okay.
So I thought that this night expedition would kind of detract from that a little bit. However,
yes,
you can't have regular Pikmin out at night. The only Pikmin that are capable of surviving and thriving at nighttime are ghost Pikmin.
Oh, that's so fun. I love it. They're already dead.
They are already dead. And so there's actual lore, attached to, like, if the ghost Pikmin die, don't worry about it. They just zip right back to where they came from because they're ghosts.
Kind of like Inky, Blinky, and Clyde.
Exactly. Very much so. And so, yeah, it's tower defense at night. Very different setup from regular Pikmin. There are also Dandori battles, which the game emphasizes heavily. And I have learned that Dandori is the Japanese word for the art of strategically and efficiently setting your tasks to be executed in the most time-efficient manner possible.
So is this like a Rube Goldberg machine, but for war?
It isn't. It's not so much like setting things off in a long series of events. It's more like you have to figure out where you put your dudes and where you put your Pikmin to execute different tasks in a limited area with a certain amount of goals you need to accomplish before time runs out.
Cool. That sounds really neat and quite engaging, especially for someone whose brain like yours is like, I need to solve this.
It is, and it takes existing gameplay and it just gamifies it further because you always had that time sensitivity, so you were always trying to be efficient, and this sets parameters around that efficiency.
Cool. That sounds really fun. I've never played a Pikmin. I do want to play all of the Pikmin with my limited time on the face of this here earth, but that's a later thing for me to do. But is it still Olimar? Is he still just having a shitty time with rockets, or is there just a whole fleet of just ill-fated astronauts?
So, what an excellent question, Evan. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
This is it leads
Why are
me
you
into
patting me on the back?
Because I love talking about Pikmin.
You and your fucking Nintendo games.
Oh, it's so good, man. They just make them so fun on purpose. Anyway, Olimar is still in the picture. One of the reasons why I really like this one too, the first Pikmin was about survival.
Yep.
Olimar crash landed on the planet. You just have to find all your spaceship parts so you can get out. Pikmin 2 was about corporate greed, which was a very effective theme. It was all about, actually, it turns out that our company is going under, and we're going to send you back to this dangerous planet because it is absolutely littered with treasure that you can make money out of.
Oh, beautiful.
Pikmin 3 was about just finding fruits and vegetables and turning them into juice to feed the starving people of... I don't know the planet name.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, that's lame until it was like, to feed starving people. Like, don't be a dick. That's so mean, Evan.
The thing is, like, I feel very motivated, and I love feeding people that never appear on screen, I guess. I really don't.
Sure, whatever.
The problem is you are already collecting fruits and vegetables for money, and so now, you're basically just restricted. What you're picking up now is less variety of stuff than you used to have access to.
Okay, that's a step backwards, if you ask me.
Yeah. But the theme around Pikmin 4 is Rescue Corps. So you're playing as like a rescue team who is there to find survivors.
Oh, cool.
Olimar is one of them. He sent the SOS.
Oh, so he's still having a bad time. That poor guy.
Yep, he's still having a bad time.
How many rockets have they trusted this man with? Like, geez.
I think probably the same one over and over again, thinking he figures it out somehow. He's the only one who can bring that hunk of junk back.
That's fun. Cool. I'm glad you're having a good time with that, and I'm glad that you now have more time to focus on that and not be stressed out the wazoo about getting a doctorate and moving across the country and all of the other things that you've got going on, and now you can talk to your friend Evan, who's been lonely.
Yeah, man. Well, hey, how are you doing? Aside from lonely.
I got El Covido, so I am on the mend. Went to a Tiny Moving Parts show last Tuesday and had a great frickin' time. It was a goddamn blast. It was so good to see a show, jam around, hang around in the mosh pit, and just have a good time. And then I'm like, yeah, my throat's still kind of sore. I guess I screamed too much. And then I was kind of unconscious. I'm like, oh no. And then Lee got sick, and we're like, oh no!
The gentle unfolding of an illness as you slip further and further into sickness.
Yeah, but I'm doing great now. It didn't hit me all that hard, which I am grateful for, and will always continue to knock on wood about. Just been doing some work. Had to do a bunch of blogs for my entire life. But other than that, I too have been playing video games because illness and not going outside to get other people sick. And
yeah, video games are just perfect for sickness. I mean, and the rest of your life too. But
yeah, just give me that escapism, baby. I don't want to be in the real world. Let me go do something where I can like actually achieve. But I was playing Crash Twinsanity, which is a PlayStation 2 game. It is, I don't know what number Crash Bandicoot game there is, because I just learned that there's like a bunch of handheld games, so whatever. But it is janky as fuck. It is such like, it is an acknowledged, admittedly rushed game. There's a line in it where Dr. Cortex just goes like, and we're going to explore a new dimension. It was supposed to be 2, but we ran out of time. And it's like really kind of like a rushed, shitty development job. But like it had a lot of charm in the jank. It was really frustrating at some points, but like I never beat it as a kid, so I wanted to finally beat it, and it was good. I got all the gems. I only looked up guides a couple of times, and the thing that really got me though was I hated all of the mouth sounds that the composer did.
Ooh.
Because there was a lot of like bop 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 doot doot doot, and the one that made me want to throw my Game Boy across the room was this little like noise that they kept making in the background of one stage. I'm just like, why did you choose to do this? This is so annoying. Like, I'm sorry. I'm not a great musician. I don't want to dig on people, but these were bad decisions. These sound bad to the ears. It was an a cappella group. It was an a cappella group that did the soundtrack for this Crash Bandicoot game, which makes sense why they were all mouth sounds. So, sorry, a cappella group. You were slated for failure because I do not like a cappella. So, apologies to whatever that team was. I can't remember their name. I looked it up and immediately ejected it from my brain because I really didn't like them. So, yeah, it was weird. Glad I beaten it. Beaten. Beat. Grammar.
Beat. What year are we talking? What Crash Bandicoot circa?
I want to guess 2008, but I don't actually know. Crash Twinsanity. It's going to be a lot earlier than that, I'm sure. 2004. Not bad. 4 years off. That's actually pretty good for me, for a guess.
I feel 2004 is a little late in the video game production era to be making mistakes like hard to listen to mouth sounds in the background, a cappella group or not.
Yeah, I mean, I looked it up online. People on Reddit were like, I really like the soundtrack. I think it adds a lot to the humor of the Crash Bandicoot series. I'm like, no, that's not what I'm after, man. I want freaking. I just want the warp room from Crash 3 where it's do 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 do, and I'm not gonna just freaking sing into for the next podcast because like we are like what 20 minutes in and we haven't even gotten to 20 minutes in and we haven't even gotten to any questions.
It's a lot of how you doing today.
It's been a month. This is why we do the podcast. Thanks for listening, folks. All two of yous.
Yeah, and listen, we're cutting out a lot of stuff for the record.
We haven't even talked about what food we ate. But yeah, really nothing noteworthy. Just those things. It's honestly been a lot of messing around and getting the stuff set so we can like actually launch this podcast into the ether for people to listen to. Because like, hey, peek behind the curtain, we're doing a little backlog, so you have a couple episodes to listen to all at once. So you're welcome.
It'll be a 3, 2, 1 go, and then they all pop out one great big glob.
So, thank you. Why are you listening to this? Please continue. Share with friends. We're weird.
Happen. Yeah, no, it's different, at least. Tell you what, let's hang our hat on that.
Yeah,
a different podcast.
Let's get into our questions. Rolling the dice. What do we get today? It is we are not at 100 yet. We are so freaking close to 100. We've got like 92 of them. And we're going to break it. We're going to break it soon. But we do need to eat up at least 4 of those questions today. And we are starting with number 72.
Ooh.
Who has performed your favorite cover song? Bonus. What is your favorite remix? Connor.
Yeah, I am, I think, not as musically inclined as Evan is. And so when I think about favorite cover, my mind drifts towards Weird Al, but he doesn't do covers.
No, he does parodies. There's a difference.
There very much is. And so, once you start remixing the lyrics, I think you're getting a little too far.
I think parody is. I think there are 3 different things in this question. There is cover, there is remix, and there is parody. Well,
my favorite parody is definitely a Weird Al song.
Yeah, but naturally.
My favorite cover, I think I'm going to throw it to Real Big Fish for Take On Me.
That's one that was in my brain. They do such a good job. You can't really go wrong with ska covers.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Come On Eileen was, who did Save Ferris do Come On Eileen?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Also very good.
So strong.
And yeah. I mean, everything Ska-Toon Network does is fantastic.
Ska-Toon Network's fantastic. I mean, Less Than Jake has an entire EP that is cartoon theme songs covered as ska. Freaking SpongeBob and Animaniacs, baby. It's so good. Look it up.
It becomes so distinctly different, which I think is important in a cover for me. If somebody just does the same thing, but they just sing a little different, then it's usually not really worth my time. Although, on that same topic, Streetlight Manifesto doing You, Me, and Julio Down by the Schoolyard. Also very good.
So good. Their cover of Hell is fantastic.
I don't think I'm familiar with that one.
Oh man, it's off the same album. It's very good. I don't remember it off the top of my head, so I can't sing it for you, but someone does a YouTube video on it that's actually really quite fun. Maybe Maybe I'll just like link it in the description for people. Who knows? I might do that.
Actually, you know what? The more we talk about, I was gonna give it to Real Big Fish for Take on Me, not because it's the best, but because it's my favorite. Because I think it was one of the very first ska covers that I heard, and probably a big part of getting me into ska in the first place.
Yep.
But I'm changing policy. I'm turning around. I'm gonna go with Man with the Skeleton Arms.
Ooh, I don't know what that is.
I don't know if that's Streetlight Manifesto or Tokay. I think it's Streetlight, not positive. But it's the kind of song where you don't realize it's a cover because they did such a better job with it, I think, than the original singer.
Yeah. It's Tokay. It's that album where he and the other artists like trade songs and cover each other.
There you go. Yeah, brilliant. It's just a really, really good. Actually, like that, everything Tokay does on that one is great. Shantan Titty Town is also on that one.
Shantan Titty Town's so strong. Yes. Can you tell me like ska? Did you know that Connor and I were skanks in high school and are still skanks today?
Yeah. Once you go skank, you never go bank. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go with Shantan Titty Town. I'm gonna go with Man with the Skeleton Arms.
Okay.
Final answer. Lock it in.
Lock it in. Do you have a favorite remix?
Favorite remix? I don't think I do.
Okay.
No.
That's totally fine.
No bonus credit for me.
All right. Well, I've got them both because I came up with the question. So whatever.
That's the advantage, folks. You bring these questions into a conversation, and you've already got an answer locked in the chamber.
Yeah, you seem even cooler and more interesting, but here's the secret. Here's the secret if you want to make friends. My dad taught me this. It's one of the only two pieces of advice that my dad gave me that weren't
this is
song
half
lyrics.
Of the wisdom. Half the wisdom of Greg Chica summarized for you right here.
And it was, people love talking about themselves. If you want to be friends with a person, ask them about themselves. They won't shut up.
There it is.
So
Evan's secret to success.
So yeah, so you can have an answer that makes you sound cool, but take more interest in the other person because, like, hey, people are interesting. Get to know them. Life's too short. All right, yep. My answers. Who has performed your favorite cover song? Similar kind of thing. A lot of ska versions live deep in my heart. Really like Scissor Sisters' cover of Comfortably Numb. I think they do a great job. I don't listen to a lot of Pink Floyd. That's who did Comfortably Numb, I think.
I don't know. That's another one I didn't even know that was a cover. They did such a good job with it. It felt like it was made for them. Yeah,
it's Pink Floyd. Sorry, don't listen to that much stuff. But yeah, no, I think a really strong thing with covers is like, oh, hello, Salem. Please join the podcast, my dear. We have a cat. We have a cat in the podcast.
Have you trained Salem to meow on command?
Only if there's food involved.
Oh, shame.
Yeah. So I think a strong thing with covers is if they do sound like the original. So Comfortably Numb's really strong. I do love Save Ferris's cover of Come On Eileen. The one that I think I'm going to go with, because I can't think of anything else right now, and this is the one that I was thinking of when I came up with this question, was Istanbul, Not Constantinople by They Might Be Giants.
Oh, I think that's probably the mother of all I didn't know this was a cover song.
Yep. Like, hell, fucking anything by Elvis was basically a cover song too.
Yeah. But I think another one I'd put out there, probably something a lot of people are familiar with. I think people tend to walk around thinking that nobody else knows about Hurt by Johnny Cash.
Yep.
Says 9 Inch Nails cover.
Yeah, and even Trent Reznor's like, no, that's Cash's song now. He did it better.
Yep. But Istanbul, Not Constantinople.
It's so good. Anytime you hear those three words in succession, you just start hearing do-do-do, 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 do-do-do.
It's a real crowd pleaser. You know, it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's there just long enough for you to, like, no one ever gets tired of singing the refrain by the time it's done.
Istanbul was Constantinople. Now it's Istanbul, not Constantinople. It's so good. It's just, it lives, and then it lives in your brain for days, and then you're like not upset about it that it's there, and you're like, yeah, Istanbul's not Constantinople.
It's not. And what a useful history fact,
right?
Just a little educational tidbit for you.
If I've got a date with a girl in Constantinople, I gotta go to Istanbul. You know what? I could have been late to my date. They Might Be Giants if you didn't slightly speed up this song, making it so much better for some reason.
It's so much better.
But yeah, I think that's going to be Evan of this moment's favorite cover song. And I'm probably going to listen to it when this podcast is done. But my favorite remix, I'm going to start with my least favorite remix because it is in tandem with my favorite remix. And my least favorite remix is the 2000 refix version, because how the fuck dare you say you have the gall to fix that song when you make it sound like a panic attack? Like, I had panic attacks as a kid, and it was the same experience of everything being too fast, slightly like too loud and upsetting, and you're just like, this needs to stop. Why is why is this going on? Why is this doing this so fast? I can't calm down. I can't calm down. I can't calm down. It's such an unpleasant version, and you say you fixed it. I'm sorry, but 2000 was a better song before you fucking touched it. But the best version of 2000 is the Gorillaz remix of it. That's off of the Gorillaz album. I can't remember what the version of it was. It's the one that's just slightly sped up.
I think I'm getting like reawakened memories, I think, of you telling me about how upset you were about this in high school.
It's the Soul Child remix. That's the good one. But yeah.
It's kind of bubbling to the surface. And in the back of my head, I'm like, when you asked me this, I was like, the Gorillaz had a remix of some kind of thing. But I think that's what I think I was just borrowing your complaint from years and years ago. Apparently long-lasting complaints.
I still think about it every time I listen to the refix and just like, the fucking gall, get out of here, bro. Like, this is not a better version. You didn't fix shit. You fucked it up. This is the refuck version.
Yeah, more like redixed.
Redixed. Oh man, the Salem opened the door when she came in to hang out. Now Leah has to listen to our dumb podcast, but from my version of it, I feel so bad for her right now.
Oh, she doesn't even have the coughs edited out.
Oh no, it's bad. It's bad. But yeah, the other remix that I do want to give actually, there's a couple remixes I want to give quick honorable mentions to. The oh my god. Tokyo Police Club, the Lesson in Crime remix. They do a good job with that. I like that.
Got another one. I'm never mind. I've got homework again.
Yeah.
I'm
oh my gosh.
Back on the homework train.
Go listen to Champ. Not Champ. Champ's the album that we like. It's the other like single word EP. Police Club. Oh my god. I'm sorry, listeners. This is doing great. We're doing great. I'm just looking up albums here, and you have to listen to our stupid podcast as I Google albums. Where is it?
And I'm not going to rescue him.
It's the Smith EP. Yeah, no, that's totally fine. Yeah, they do A Lesson in Crime. It's a great version. Big recommends on their. When bands fucking remix their own songs, it's just good. But also, I normally don't like when other stuff touch it, but Does It Offend You? Yeah, does a remix of The Prayer by Block Party. And it is the only remix off of Another Weekend in the City, a fan album that I really like. And it's great because I knew it was Does It Offend You? Yeah, without having to look, because they used that one fucking drop noise that's the kind of like the throw up noise where it's like the that they do that's very distinctive to them. Connor, if you hear it, you would know it.
Okay.
But that one's
taking notes.
Pretty solid.
Gosh,
I don't know.
If only there was some record of this conversation.
Yeah, now you're the one who needs to listen back to this, not me. Take that,
That's
nerd.
right. Yeah.
But yeah, those are the answers. And man, I'm just jazzed to be talking to Connor about music. I've been getting back into music lately, so It's been very exciting. What do we got next? We have lucky number 7. What are we doing on lucky number 7?
This is an old one. This has got to be early question
It
plans.
It's very early. This is so early. This is one of the ones that I know Aaron's answer to.
Oh.
So Connor, what is your midlife crisis food stand?
Whew. Well, let me put myself into that mindset. Okay.
All right.
I'm almost at the end of paying off my student loan 10-year limit.
Did it?
I, for
Good
whatever reason, feel like it's just not happening. My life isn't the way I wanted it to be.
You haven't actually helped enough kids?
Haven't. I just, you know what? The kids, they don't need help anymore, actually. It turns out.
You know what? The kids are all right. The offspring.
The kids are all right. And I need to find a new way to find meaning in my life. And for some reason, I've chosen food. And so whatever it is, I want it to be really meticulous and something that I've just got to do like a million times in a row. I think I'd probably, I'm feeling like a dumpling of some kind.
Okay, when you're saying meticulous, I don't know why I was thinking crepe for you, but that makes sense. The same kind of like folded pastry type of thing.
Yeah, I think there's something about the filling, like taking the filling, putting that into the wrapper, crimping it just so. I think I'd probably do a global dumpling stand. So
okay, what do you mean? Like how every nation has a dumpling, like pierogi for Polish.
They've all got.
I guess dumplings for English, gyoza for China. Sorry, what did you say? My brain.
Yeah, they've all got dumplings. Everybody, every culture domesticated dogs. Every culture invented language. Every culture made a dumpling. Don't at me. I know that's probably not literally true, but
it's
lots
true
of
right
dumplings
here, baby.
out there. It's true where it counts.
Right in my left breastisis.
But we all love a dumpling. We've got convergent evolution, parallel evolution of dumplings all over the place. And it would be cool to just have a smattering of dumplings in one fun little stand.
Okay, now, are you going to be like a Pokemon special character where you have a different style of dumpling per day? Like if you want Indian dumplings, you got to come on Monday.
Oh.
If you want European dumplings, you got to come on Tuesday. Or are you going to just have an overloaded truck every single day?
I think I want to offer everything all the time, forever, always.
Okay.
Because that way I am so busy that I can't think about how my life has failed.
Okay.
I don't have time to contemplate the first half of my life being over and the inevitable heat death of the universe. I'm too busy making dumplings. All of them. All the kinds of dumplings.
Okay. So now I know you're doing all like form factors of dumplings. Now, are you doing all proteins too? Like, are you going to go even further into debt by having, shrimp dumplings, chicken dumplings, pork dumplings, beef dumplings, or are you helping yourself on having like a limited type of thing where it's like it's all chicken dumplings from all places? Or
I'm probably going to go for some amount of variety. Probably because one of the things I want to make sure that I'm doing a good, and Evan, correct me the way that you always do, because one day maybe I'll learn. I want to do a good pierogi.
Pierogi. Yep, you're getting better. At least you're not saying pierogi.
Pierogi.
Ugh. It hurts my ears, man.
That'll be one of my missions as I'm trying to pay homage to all of these different cultures and all of the dumplings they've produced. I'll try to learn how to pronounce it in each language.
I like that. I can help you pronounce and make pierogi, because I went with my sister to Krakow, Poland, and I got dumplings. I got pierogi at fucking midnight after one of the most surreal Uber rides of my life. And they weren't as good as my bocce's. My bocce makes better cabbage pierogi. And like, fucking credit to her. Good job, Arl. Like,
yeah,
I have her cabbage recipe. Like, we have it on lock. We can make the good stuff.
Perfect. Yeah, my personal favorite is a nice potato and cheese, but I feel like the cabbage pierogi is more true to form.
Potato and cheese is the best. You're lying if you say otherwise, but cabbage is delicious. It's a very close second.
Yeah, so I think I'll have a vegetarian option there, but I know that I want to bring in. This is another rough go, but I'm gonna be brave and make an attempt at Xiao Long Bao.
Oh, cool.
Is the XLB pork soup dumplings? So I know I'm gonna have pork in the mix somewhere.
I love soup dumplings. I will eat the shit out of yours, man.
Right.
So
That's the kind of snack that I can bring home to my wife and dogs that will make them stop asking me what I've chosen to do with my life. Because that's a question I cannot tolerate at this phase in my life.
They're just
I'm just filling their mouths with pork soup dumplings.
Thank you, honey. This is so delicious. How'd you make the broth so unctuous?
Those are the kinds of questions I'll be able to handle. That's the conversation I'll want to have.
I love that.
And I can do that.
That's very good.
But I know there's just a whole world of dumplings to get into. Those are the two that I know I want to do off the top of my head.
I fully support. Yeah, I'm kind of in a different headspace than yours for mine.
Okay.
So my midlife rice. Wow, that was not coming. Those words were not coming out good. My midlife rice. I'm just eating all that midlife rice, baby. Yum, yum.
Midlife rice is packed full of proteins that your aging bones need.
Yep. It's Connor's secret rice dumpling that he only makes for Evan.
Oh, here comes Evan. He's falling apart. He's going to need some rice
carbs
today. Get some rice in there. That's what you need, bud.
My midlife crisis food stand was actually decided for me. This is how old this question is. So this was decided for me back when I was dating a certain person, and she said that I would be running a barbecue truck, would be my midlife crisis food stand. So as the course of my life has gone on since that moment, I am no longer with that person who ended up being a horrible, heartless bitch, and I will never forgive her. So I have to assume that she ran me out of business, took over the food stand, and just kicked me to the fucking curb. So I don't have a midlife crisis food stand anymore because she took my livelihood, she took my joy, she took my fucking dogs. Man, I've got nothing left. So my answer is I'm going to be playing ukulele at my sister's midlife crisis food stand because I've got nothing else going for me. So I may as well be in Hawaii playing the ukulele and just tanning myself to death.
I feel like in some ways that's even truer to the midlife crisis. The real midlife crisis food stand is the one that you don't have the ability to operate anymore.
She ruined it for me, man.
It's over.
She took the food. This was supposed to be my out.
Well, in fairness, there's a lot of waiting involved in barbecue, which would leave you too much time to contemplate the choices you've made in your life. So you're probably better off playing the ukulele.
Yep. So that's my answer. And I don't have to think about what food I would actually do because my life is terrible.
Right. All
right. I keep forgetting that I've got the dice.
Oh, the power is in your hands.
We got to get you out of that closet, baby. Give you something, the ability to participate better than I am doing. All right. So we are rolling down the tracks to number 56, which is very fun. Okay. All right. So Connor, I have to assume that you are some shape, form, or iteration of villain, because the question today is, what genre of henchman would you have?
Okay. Well, I know that I've already set myself up to be a very specific kind of villain, because I will insist on being addressed as Doctor. The newspapers will refer to me as Dr. something, probably not my real last name, because that, unless I get into, like, I don't know, clothing-based villainy.
Oh, yeah. But then at that point, they're spelling your name wrong the entire time. It's just like, it's not an S. My name's... I love that you're like, I'm going to be called Doctor, but, like, if we're existing in this world, I'm going to become a newspaper editor, and I'm going to have a headline of like Dr. Demented, more like Mr. Mischief, and like everybody always refers to you as Mr. It's like, I have a doctorate. I went to school.
That's that's true villainy right there. Taking away the one thing that a supervillain has, the one thing they earned outside of their villainous attempts.
I'm gonna J. Jonah Jameson you and just laugh at you. Fuck you.
I need more pictures of Mr. Mischief, aka please call me Doctor, please. It's the only thing I have.
Could you at least have called me Mayhem, please? It's another M. You still alliterate.
So I think if I'm going to dip really deep into the doctor side of things, just to really sell, I'm probably going to go by Doctor, just to make sure that it's really thoroughly taken care of. All of my hench people will be research assistants, gathering intel, and they'll have weird catchphrases like, new hypothesis, or, this will have a very interesting bell curve to this fight.
I'm not making money for my internship.
Oh, you're quite the outlier, aren't you, Mr. Hero?
Okay. That's cute. How big is your internship program? Your residency?
I want to be able to give each of them individual attention because I'm giving them very little else. in classic fashion. So I think I could probably handle as many as 5 at a time.
Okay. Now, are they all psychology or like you running the gamut from doctors?
I think it'll be a rotating cast. Let's be honest. They'll be shuffling in and out. They'll get arrested. And my research interests are going to range wildly. So I think there'll always be a psych bent to what is going on in my villainous escapades, but I'm going to want to have, like some outside expertise, because it'll be like, hey, I wonder what would happen if we rearranged town square with explosives and what kind of an effect that would have on people's perceptions of being in that area of town. So I'd need an explosives expert. I would need somebody in architecture. A lot of the villainy would really be funneled through them because I want them to feel like they get to make some choices on what kind of research projects we're doing.
Yeah, you're just facilitating. You are the catalyst that, like, your villainy superpower is empowering the villainy of others. Yeah.
And I think my main lieutenant will be, I'll call them the internal review board, just so that everything is approved before I get started on it.
Oh, that's cute. I really like that. You sound you sound like a shitty villain, but like it's really cute all that you're doing, and then it's going to be really fucked up seeing all of the chaos and destruction that your little cohort allows for.
Yeah, I think I'll have the hearts and minds of academia. For sure. And there will be some favorable reporting. People will notice the kinds of relationships that I have with my mentees, and I think that'll turn public opinion in a direction.
Okay. So like when you end up like taking over and like developing like evil academia, like would you create like a Nobel D's prize instead of a Nobel Peace Prize?
I think it's really going to be up to the larger villainous academic community to come up with the award names and of course to make them fit whatever it is that I happen to be doing at any given moment or else.
Okay. Cool. I just hope that they name it D's, because when people are like, what award is that? D's nuts.
What did you get that award for? For D's.
What is that?
Oh, for D's nuts.
Just fucking 12-year-old villain. I love it.
Yep. Yeah, and that'll be allowed in the style guides of villainy because we're serious. We're getting real data here, but we're also having fun.
I mean, we allow jeans on Fridays. Like, absolutely. We understand, like, we had a global pandemic and like that was really villainous. So like, you can work from home. Like, we don't need to be I don't need to micromanage you. As long as you're getting your villainy done and, you meet your meetings and reviews, like, we are going to be fine.
Yeah. When we're on site, closed-toed shoes, wear your safety gear, but otherwise, be true to yourself.
Cool. Still no benefits?
Come on, Evan. Come on. I mean, if non-villains get away with not giving benefits, you think I'm gonna give them?
I mean, that could you could be a villain shining a light on the true.
Ooh.
It's like even Mr. Mayhem treats his people like people, and you can't give sick time.
You know what? Yeah, no, I think that's right. I think I've gotta be the mirror for the rest of society, so that I've got loads of stuff to say in terms of just something to follow. You think I'm the villain? Statement A, statement B.
Yep.
And one of those things will be, at least I give my interns dental.
Yeah. Okay. No, I like this. I really like your villain story. This is a very fun thing to listen to. I do have one last question, just because I'm really just genuinely curious about this person that you have created. What is your rubric, since you're going to be taking on like residency internship people? Like, you have to be grading them for their program. Like, is it based on like, how many, like, you need to get like 4 evil laughs in like a monologue, or like you really need to like efficiency, or like efficiency of underlings, like you need to send out the worst and like then slowly send the better people, so the hero has the ability to get stronger with time? Or like, do you need to I don't know, just like have a really like spec sheet for all your technology, was like you need to have a glowing error so someone can destroy it? Like what is your kind of like grading platform?
Yeah, the style guide will definitely mandate a couple of classic villain hallmarks that you're describing here.
Yep.
But really, I think where the rubber meets the road is going to be a loose cannon cop criteria, essentially. As long as we get results, is really, you don't play by the rules, but God damn it, you get results. That is really, really where I want things to wind up.
Okay. That works. I like it. It makes more sense of just it really is that kind of like startup mindset of just like, we're all owners in this company. Like, it doesn't matter how we achieve it, as long as we're under budget and growing, like, we're happy.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I like that. That makes a lot of sense. It's kind of amusing how we're going with this. I like that you have a team, but I think this question really answers like how incompetent you and I are as people, because both of our henchmen are people better than us, who can do more than we are. Because my genre of henchmen, like, I don't think I would have a team. I mean, if I'm a villain, I have to have a team, but like, I'm thinking like I have a henchman or lady, whatever, or person. Let's be inclusive. I'm not here. I'm just using outdated terms of henchmen because it's easier for me at this moment. But like,
that's right.
it's in the handbook. Like, we're totally cool. We're clean here.
The hench person handbook.
Yep. But my henchman would be like a second in command kind of person, and I'm thinking a very kowtowing, well-spoken, well-dressed, posh person who is very like kind and always kind of like crossing T's, dotting I's, like making sure everything's set.
Just a real class act. Very
just
efficient.
Like really powerful. Like, yeah, got that kind of like elegance of just like where they just laugh at the hero. It's just like, I kind of like you more. I kind of like you more than the hero. I think you're my favorite character. I think you're really cool.
Just a little above it all. Very cool. I like it.
And the entire time, like, they are very, subservient, whatever, placating to me. But the entire time that they're behind my back, they are plotting to overthrow me, beat the shit out of me, destroy me. It's just like, I am smarter than you, and I fucking know it. I'm going to run this thing, and as soon as you show your bare ass, I am going to kick it right out of this hive of villainy, and I'm going to overtake it and become the powerful one. Like, I think my henchman is going to be so efficient that they are going to overtake my position eventually.
I like that.
They've got silver hair. They're definitely that archetype of silver hair henchman.
Yeah, I'm into it. I like the idea that your only real competence is keeping this hyper competent person in line.
Yeah,
Like,
and I think like keeping them in line is through just a bit of bumbling. It's just like I kind of fuck up their plan of just like yes, like now once this gets done, it's like, oh yeah, sorry, I didn't order the nitroglycerin. I'm sorry, I was looking at memes.
Yeah, and so you're very strategically sabotaging their sabotage.
It's like, sir, this is why I asked for a company credit card. It's like, yeah, no, I'll get you one. Just like talk to evil HR, sir. You are evil HR. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, but honestly, I've just been a little grumpy lately. I just don't think now's the right time to ask me for something.
Yeah, no, totally that kind of dynamic where it's kind of got that comedic pulse to it of just like frustrating, because like I do think that I would be like Disney Channel-esque villain where like I would team up with the hero at times for reasons. I think that's how it would be, and I think for that to be the case, that like I need that like more competent actual villainous henchman. Because like I know I will have a team of people, but like I'm not qualifying them as henchmen, you know? Like,
right.
Is that unfair?
Well, I mean, the hench person, I think it comes with a certain amount of like
Esteem.
degradation. You know, if you have a team, it sounds more like you have a collection of contractors who carry out what you're talking about.
I think I qualify like my masses as goons versus my henchmen.
Mm-hmm. So you've got just your one hench person there at the top, taking care of business until they can take care of you.
Yeah.
And I think, like a habitual, a cyclical push and pull on that, leading you in desperation to wind up washed up in Hero HQ, helping them to take down your hench person so that you can betray them at the last second and reclaim your hench person in their henchness.
Yeah. And it's just like, like the kind of like the stinger at the end of that would just be like, sometimes to be a true villain, you need to be good. And it's just like, what? Shut the fuck up. How did you beat me? I am so much smarter than you.
Yeah, I like that. Sort of like reining in this orderly, organized person with random chaos.
Yeah. I think that's where I want to be. Also, I think they're wearing a red velvet tuxedo jacket with tails. Very formal wear. They seem very cool in my brain.
Yeah, you are describing mostly a butler, you realize.
No.
Yeah, there's a heavy butler aesthetic to what you're describing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but fuck. Okay.
I think they'll hate it when people point that out.
I think so too. I like that even better. I just like how it fits.
Can one not have a sense of style?
And it just won't help when it's like, hey, can you please go get me lunch?
Oh, it is in the job description, isn't it?
Why didn't I read the contract? All right. Huh, can you believe we're at the last roll of the day already, Connor?
Here it comes.
This is very fun because I just need to go down one because we got 57.
Ah. So close to a great coincidence.
It would have been really fun if we went up one to 55, which peek behind the curtain to the listeners. What evil genius would you be? Ooh, I fucking wonder at this point.
Ooh.
But 57 is an entirely different question. What game would you play death for your soul?
Oh, the answer has already been given many a time on the internet that tabletop role-playing games would be an excellent game to play death in.
I have never heard that before.
Oh,
that
yeah.
sounds fucking dope.
Well, yeah, it's not an original idea. I don't think I'm going to wind up going with it. But yeah, the basic idea is that you sort of trap death into a never-ending game because there's no real winner or loser by the time you finish, a years-long campaign and you've already gotten that much extra living time. Death probably wants to play again.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I like that. I was thinking you could just DM Fiat and just like, oh shit, man, your character died. It's behind the curtain. You just gotta trust me. I thought that was just like an easy, like, I just win. I am the GM. I fucking make the rules.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'm playing to actually get any more lifetime in. I think it's probably more just I want to learn as much as I can about death.
Okay.
In this interaction.
I mean, I have my answer locked and loaded if you need a little bit more time to think, bud.
Yeah, what do you got? What do you play in death?
It's easy. It's the same kind of deal, but like I also want to keep living, so I am going to choose a game where I'm going to win. And the answer, baby, is cribbage. I'm playing death in a best 2 out of 3, unless we don't need no rubber match, cribbage game. Because like here's the thing, I fucking love cribbage. Cribbage is such a fun game, and if I'm gonna go out doing a game, like let me just fucking chill out, have a couple of beers with death. Like we can shoot the shit as we're playing. Like I'm gonna point out when he misses counting points. Like I'm not gonna be a dick about it. Like. And we're going to just, see what happens. And hopefully my eternally fickle, amused cribbage god continues to smile upon me. But if not, like, hey, shit, man, I probably had a really fun game of cribbage. And, like, death is probably going to get a 29 hand, which is incredible.
It would be good to witness. Yeah, no muggins. Yep. 5 in the crib for a flush.
Yep.
Just got best 2 out of 3, immortal soul on the table.
Yep. It's just really simple, casual, fun game of cards. Because like it's same kind of thing with you. It's like I'm going to have time to talk to death, and it's just like, hey, how's it been, man? Like I know I think about you a lot, but like we don't really get a chance to talk. So like, how you been? Like what's going on? What you been up to? Really fucked up Hawaii, man.
Yeah. I like that. There is plenty of time for gabbing in between hands in cribbage, and you can always like really take some time to think about your crib if you want to grab a couple extra seconds.
It's like, hey, I'm gonna grab another beer. Do you want a snack or something? Just like, I don't need to be a jerk to this guy. Like, and who knows? Like maybe he's having a good time. Like, yeah, sure, you won. You're taking my immortal soul, but like, I got another round in me.
Interesting that you would say that you're not going to be a jerk to death, because I've taken a very different tactic. I think I'm probably I've decided that this is going to be a party game.
Oh, you dick!
I want death. I want death to be forced to do things you wouldn't expect the Grim Reaper to have to be able to do.
Death, you're gonna have a bad time if you want to take this soul, baby.
I'm probably, I think. I'm leaning towards a board game that I haven't played in a very long time.
Stratego. Monopoly.
Stratego and Monopoly are both terrible choices to play against
Chinese checkers.
I can't think of a game that death would be better suited for than Stratego.
Why's that?
A war simulation? Sounds like something death would nail.
Have you played Stratego?
Is Stratego not the... I'm on one side, you're on the other, and I've got a bomb and a spy and a couple of generals and lieutenants?
It is.
Yeah. I think death would absolutely destroy anybody in Stratego.
See, I think I would do fine in Stratego because I don't know the rules to Stratego and have beaten my bocce many times at Stratego.
Maybe you have a gift. Maybe.
Or maybe my bocce was being very nice to a 6-year-old Evan. Could have been.
I think I'm probably going to wind up with Quelf.
What the fuck is Quelf?
Quelf is a board game that is fun to play maybe 3 times. Definitely really fun to play once. Okay, the second time. Maybe you're still having a good time the third time. But it's one of those
in your life.
Yes. Oh yeah, not in a night.
So
for sure.
Okay, so like you play Quelf once when you're 15, and then you play Quelf again when you're, 36, and you're just like, man, this is just not as good.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So it is eternal. Like once you do it once, it is like an eternal kind of like bleh.
Yeah, I'm thinking if I can get Death in a best 3 out of 5, maybe I can tie him on game 4, or he might be sick of it by the time we're done with the second game. Hard to say. He might just give up.
Okay.
But Death in over the course of Quelf will be forced to do silly things like only say certain things, or it's one of those you add more rules as you go kind of games, and they're all also random.
Oh no. Oh, that sounds terrible.
And in my mind, when you get Death into a party game, either you get to split the audience. I get to call in a friend and Death gets to call in a friend to play in Quelf.
Yep.
Or Death just brings in 3 damned souls to sit at the table with you.
Okay.
And I think it would be a lot of fun to see how that would go. I think I might be more willing to be ridiculous than Death. I think Death might be a touch too proud to really nail Quelf. So I might also make it out that way.
Especially if your life is on the line, you're like, "Fuck, man, I gotta live with myself with these actions." He does.
Yeah.
I'm just another soul to him.
Yeah. And worst case scenario, I get to see Death do lots of silly skeleton things.
Ooh, oh, man, you could have a rule where he has to dance to Bone Trousel.
Right. I think there are a lot of different tests I could put him through where Death just needs to forfeit.
Man, I'm now just wanting to make it's like how deep into the papyrus cosplay can I get Death? Like can you go make me spaghetti?
Yeah. Even if I wind up dying, I'll have a great story for everybody else.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. Now I'm just thinking about games that I want to play with Death just for the fuck of it. I would love to just fucking jackbox it up with Death for an evening. Yeah. I think he would kill Quiplash. I think that would be hella fun. Really
Quiplash
enjoy
would be
that.
a good time. Yeah, I'd be into it.
Oh man, and like the other thing that I really, really would love to pull off is like, can I make a face like gross enough that even Death would be like, "Why'd you draw that, Ev?"
I do think I think that Death would be an incredible artist.
Yeah, easily. I would love to have like Death playing any of the drawing games, especially when it'd be like for Drawful, it's like Sonic hentai T-shirt. Just like, you have to draw that now, Death. Good luck.
That's the thing. I think that you might be able to catch Death in a humor off. I don't know if Death has a really great sense of humor, so they might get caught unawares in a lot of those Jackbox contests. But on the other hand, if it is just 3 damaged souls that we have to appeal to, Death might have a better sense of their sense of humor.
Here's the thing. If we're doing Jackbox, we're getting the crew together, man. And like, you think they're gonna fucking miss playing Jackbox with Death? I don't think so.
Absolutely not.
And like, here's the thing. Damaged souls aren't gonna have cell phones, so like, sorry, Death, they're all voting for me.
It's just the way it plays. I feel like Death would use a lot of safety quips in Quiplash.
Yeah, and oh man, even if he is winning, he's only getting half points. Yeah. Yeah, I don't. Man, this is a thought that is going to live in my brain now. I didn't think that our podcast would have such a profound effect on me, but now I'm just really like, what if, like, would Death enjoy playing Bandana D in Kirby and the Forgotten Land with me? Like, I think I'd have fun. I feel like he'd kind of be like Leah and not fully understand how to do the different spear moves. Or maybe he's fucking dope. I don't know. Oh man, or like, would he choose all of the like skeletal edgelord fighting game characters, or is he going to choose the cute girl character? Like, what's your flavor of Death? What do you like?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows what they're into?
I just want to hang out with Death now.
Yeah, I think your approach is befriend Death and have a friendly encounter, where my approach is trick Death into being too serious or take advantage of that seriousness / humiliate Death so that she refuses to finish up a game.
So I love that this is now once again boiling down to what you and Aaron and Leah and fucking everyone else says. Apparently I'm now flirting with Death.
You would not be the first, I think, to attempt it. But there are worse strategies, for sure.
I don't think I'd be the first. I think I might be the first person to do it on accident, though.
Yeah, you might be right about that.
Just unintentionally.
But, I think the authenticity of your accidental flirting might be one of the better strategies for winning Death over. However, the thing is, though, you might be a little too successful. I think befriending Death would be all the more likely to take you so that you could spend more time.
I mean, if they're cool, I don't mind hanging out with them. Like,
sure.
Whatever. At least I don't have to, like, pay bills anymore.
As far as you know.
Yeah, fair point.
Who knows? I mean, Death is a working stiff.
Oh, shit. That's true. I don't know. Maybe, maybe if he is so enamored with me, I could, like, hang out with them and, like, like, they pay for my rents or whatever, and I'll just, like, take up a hobby of, like, I get really good at sharpening scythes. Like, make sure, like, I help their day-to-day job, and, we kind of call it splitsies.
Yeah, thinking about it, it's not that bad of a gig altogether. People are always trying to play games with you. I can't think of another job where you just hang out with somebody for a while and play a game for a time that they're really invested in winning.
Yeah, and, like, for the most part, I don't care if I win or lose. So, like, I think it'd be pretty chill to just kind of hang out and do a thing.
I think your supervisor would probably, your supervisor, if you're Death, only lets you get away with that if you're good at games. You can't lose a lot of those, can you?
I don't know how many people play games with Death. Like, what is his track record? There's a lot of people still alive right now.
That's true. True. It's hard to say. Yeah, and like, it doesn't need to be a lot of time. You just play for like a couple more months.
Yeah.
You come back around, grab another round of cribbage.
Yeah. It's like, hey, sorry, I've just been a little bit bored, so I'm coming early.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have had all that cholesterol-filled sausages. Your heart's not doing too great there, boss.
Yeah, but hey, I love me some WarioWare. Let's get to it. Oh, good job. See you in a month.
Yeah. No, I like
nice.
it.
Nice. Hey, congrats. Good for you.
Cool. All right, I think that'll wrap it up for today.
Yeah.
So, thank you as always for listening. I really appreciate your time and attention. You don't fucking need to do this, but the fact that you did is insanely appreciated to two random strangers who voices you now know better than their faces.
Yeah.
If you have any questions yourself, you can get them answered at lemonanswers@gmail.com. Connor.
So official. So good.
That is, what is the email they can get their questions at?
Was I listening? lemonanswers@gmail.com?
It is lemonanswers@gmail.com.
Heck yeah.
And if you want to have a parasocial relationship with us, good fucking luck. But we are online at The Answer Is a Lemon on Instagram and TikTok. We'll be there if we remember that they exist and want to post anything. Probably not. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Engage with us. I dare you.
Yeah.
Just try it. Try to get parasocial with us. See what happens.
Yeah, but most importantly, have a good day. Leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed it. Share it with your friends, your enemies, your family, or don't. I can't control you. But yeah, be well. Love you. Bye.
Nope.